You know, one of my favorite TV shows is a show called The Wire. And some of you guys have maybe have seen the show. It's pretty popular. It's probably one of the best TV shows of all time. And I rewatched this show. I probably watched it at least 4 times, and I'm actually about to start a new rerun of the series soon. But I love that show so much. It's one of my favorite shows ever, and it's just an amazing show. And there's always something new you can pick up and learn from the show. In the series, one of my favorite characters is a character whose name is Prop Joe, Proposition Joe, or Prop Joe, they call him in the show. And one of my favorite scenes with Prop Joe is a scene with Prop Joe and another character named Old Face Andre. And Old Face Andre is kind of a new, he's a guy who's not really street smart. He doesn't know anything about the drug game, but he's trying to break into the drug game by working with one of the other very, very powerful drug lords named Marlo Stanfield, who has who's ruthless, very ruthless and cutthroat dude named Marlo. So Oldface Andre gets into bed with Marlo, and things go bad. And all of a sudden, Marlo wants Oldface Andre dead. So here you have Proposition Joe, who's on the east side of Baltimore, who's a drug lord on the east side of Baltimore. And he's been a drug lord for years, decades almost. Very wise, very smart, very clever. And he's almost like a mentor to some of the drug dealers in the Baltimore area. And so Proposition Joe, Old Face Andre goes to Proposition Joe, and he says to Prop Joe to help him get out of town. And Old Face Andre even offers to pay Proposition Joe. And Old Face Andre's reason for asking Prop Joe is the fact that Old Face Andre says, well, I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody who lives in New York or Philly or whatever. So I can't just leave. I need somebody. That's what I need you for. I need you to help me, Prop Joe, because you have connections in these cities to help me get to go somewhere and hide. And Proposition Joe says he looks at Old Face Andre, and I love this part of the show. Proposition Joe looks at Old Face Andre and he says, and Proposition Joe worked in he owned like a machine shop where he repairs machines. It was like a front for his whole drug business, but he owned like a machine shop, a machine or electronics repair shop. So Old Face Andre comes into the shop and he asks Proposition Joe to, hey, can you give me passage? Can you help me get to another city? And Proposition Joe says to Old Face Andre, you know what the problem is with these here machines? Proposition Joe is sitting, he's like repairing a toaster or repairing some cheap machine. And he says to Old Face Andre, you know the problem with these here machines? They're too cheap to begin with. Some people think for what it's worth to fix it, make the shit work right, might as well dump it and get another one. Now, at first thought, this might not seem like anything important. It might just be like, oh, okay, whatever. It may not seem anything like Prop Joe saying anything important, but he actually said something very important. And the funny thing is that Old Face Andre didn't get it either. Old Face Andre didn't understand what Prop Joe was saying. And if Old Face Andre did, if he had the wisdom to listen and actually dissect what Prop Joe said to him, would have saved his life. Basically, Prop Joe was telling Old Face Andre that he's trying to fix a problem with a broken solution. People often try to fix like cheap electronics, but the problem is that it's already cheap to begin with. You might as well just toss it and buy a new one instead of trying to use a broken solution to fix a cheap machine. So the machine represents Andre trying to run from his problem. And Old Face Andre is trying to fix his problem with a broken solution. We're just skipping to another city until things magically blow over, which is a broken solution. It doesn't really solve Andre's problem of one of the biggest drug lords in Baltimore wanting him dead. It doesn't really solve that problem. Prop Joe was telling Old Face Andre that he is better off jetting out of town and just dumping his old life, forgetting everything and just moving and starting over in another city where he's basically out of reach for a lot of the local Baltimore criminals. And Prop Joe was telling Andre that he was way in too deep. He was in way above his head. But instead, Andre tried to solve his problem with the quick solution of just buying passage and leaving to another town until things blow over. But Prop Joe was telling Andre that it's not worth all that, and you're better off just cutting your losses. And basically, Prop Joe was telling him that either you dump your problems and dip town and just start over somewhere else, or I'm giving you up tomorrow. I'm giving your ass up to Marlo. Because Andre is the cheap toaster. He's the cheap machine. You might as well just dump him. And Prop Joe was telling Andre that it's not worth all that. It's better to just cut your losses. So instead of Andre dumping his problems and leaving town and trying to start over somewhere else, he runs to Prop Joe with that quick solution. I was telling him he's doomed. There is no quick solution for the problem he's in. And so he's better off making peace with his problem and leaving town and never looking back. He tells Andre his fate more or less, but Andre didn't get it. He tells Andre he is a cheap machine trying to be fixed with a broke solution. And if you trust me, Prop Joe, I'm giving your ass up to Marlo. So Andre ends up getting dumped. He ends up getting dumped to Marlo, handed off to Marlo, and getting murked by Marlo. Prop Joe gave him up. But Andre didn't listen. If Andre would have been listening, he would have realized Prop Joe was telling him, I'm going to give your ass up. You're a cheap machine trying to fix your problems with a broken solution. And what happens when Marlo gets word that I've been helping out somebody he's trying to kill, and then he might be coming at me sideways. So if Old Face Andre had the wisdom to actually think about what he was doing, he would have realized it was a dead end in the first place. There was no quick solution for this problem. And so this actually got me thinking about how people try to solve their problems with quick solutions. And people often think that there's an easy, quick solution to most problems in life. For example, I had a friend who recently complained to me that they were not making enough money. So, they proposed a quick, easy solution. They said, oh, if I'm not making enough money, that means I need to pick up a second job. And I tried to get them to think about this, but they still didn't get it. So I had to explain it. And so this person asked me for my opinion. They said, hey, Jack, what are your opinions? What should I do? I'm not making enough money. I'm going to pick up a second job. So I said, look, if you're trying to fix your problem with a broken solution, picking up a second job is not a solution to your problem. It's not a solution to your problem of not making enough money. Working two jobs is only meant to be really a short-term thing to temporarily help you if you're in a crunch where you really just need a couple extra months of extra money and you need to pick up a quick job to get some money. That's a quick solution, but it's a temporary solution, And I told him that, hey, your main problem is that you are not providing a valuable enough skill set to the marketplace to demand more money. That's why you're not making enough money. You could technically switch jobs or make more money, but just trying to pick up a second job doesn't really solve your issue. In fact, it might just make it worse. You're going to be more stressed, more time, less time to relax, less time to enjoy life. You're going to be super stressed trying to work both jobs, So I suggest that they just try to cut costs as much as they can and try to reduce their living expenses as much as possible. And instead of picking up another job, use that time to increase the value to the marketplace that you offer. Maybe you learn new skill sets. Maybe you get a new certification that can help you improve your career and make more money. Maybe you need to move to another company, another job, and get a pay raise, right? All of these are real solutions, but just picking up a second job, it's not really a solution, And I'm not some genius. I'm not a genius or some guru, by the way. I just try to approach most things pragmatically and try to practicing different levels of thinking. In life, often people try to prescribe solutions like, for example, they say, just go outside and get off the dating apps. I talked about this in another video, but that's a broken solution. That doesn't really address the real problem. Or, just looks, max, and self-improve, bro. Again, another broken solution for the vast majority of men because it doesn't address the real underlying issues. Oh, just get a girlfriend. Again, another broken solution. Just get a passport, bro. I'm not saying that these things don't work on an individual level for some people. There's definitely some merit to them and a grain of truth in a lot of these things, but none of these things actually are real solutions. They're all kind of temporary band-aids to hold you over on the individual level. Oh, just female gaze max, bro. Or just get tattoos, man. Just get tattoos. And all these things are not solutions. Getting tattoos is modern slave behavior. Just getting tattoos, just for a lot of people are just getting random tattoos for no reason. And I just think that's modern slave behavior. It's trendy. Everybody Gen Z, I'm seeing girls with tons of tattoos. It's very trendy. Everybody's just following trends. And so Prop Joe told Old Face Andre in The Wire, you can't fix problems with quick easy solutions, with broken solutions. Trying to fix problem with broken solutions that creates more problems. Doing things like getting tattoos, just female gaze max, doing things just for the attention and validation is a dead end. It's a broken solution. You must question your motivation and free yourself from the slave mentality. Learn to deconstruct your own motivation. Stop trying to climb the stupid dominance hierarchy. Learn to live life and enjoy it for the beauty of the experience. Learn to detach yourself from outcomes. Read the Bhagavad Gita. The highest human value tends to be one of admiration. But see, the problem is that seeking admiration makes you a slave to the whims and demands of others and society at large. It makes you a tool. So give up on seeking attention and admiration. Admire yourself. Reaching this state of consciousness and enlightenment it's hard for most people, and most people will never experience the bliss and freedom that comes with the other side and reaching a certain. And so, for many problems in life, there are no solutions. Sometimes there's not a solution to all problems in life. The average person seems to believe there's a solution for everything. Oh, dating sucks. Just go outside, bro. Just go to the gym and put on muscle. Oh, you need some money. Oh, just work harder, bro. you know, you've been unlucky in life. Just keep trying, bro. Oh, Jordan missed 9,000 shots and he got cut from his junior varsity teams in high school, bro. People are constantly looking for solutions, but I believe we are reaching a point in time in human history of a zero solution error. Everything has been tried and kind of ran into the ground at this point. Everything is becoming increasingly oversaturated everywhere you turn. We are reaching a point where social functions are breaking down. We've entered an era where traditional methods for success and self-improvement are becoming less and less effective. The waters are getting bloodier and bloodier and redder. I remember when things like going to the gym was very, very niche. Even in like guys, the early 2010s, like going to the gym was still a very, very niche thing and not many people were doing it. So it could actually make you stand out in a way, and there was not an abundance of gym bros like you see now, but now it's crazy. Everybody's in the gym. It's not a niche thing anymore. But most things in life are increasingly becoming a red ocean. Many problems have already been solved at large scales. Most needs are readily and easily being met. We are reaching a point where there's really not much to do in terms of striving. Most needs are easily being met, and people are realizing, what's the difference between a 5-bedroom house and a 20-bedroom house? Most things are becoming more readily available and easy accessible, especially with technology. And there's a great malaise beginning to set into society at large where there's an increasingly lack of motivation. Strive and do a lot for what exactly? Strive for what exactly? And I'm not saying that everybody needs to maintain a decent life. Like, yeah, you need to make money, you need to have your own place, you need to become independent. I'm not saying that's not an important goal, but it's like after that fact, like what is there to truly strive for? And so we're starting to see a great malaise and a lack of motivation set in, especially with men. Oh, and this is why I personally believe in the idea of truly enjoying the simple things in life, making peace with simplicity and the simple things, and reading and reaching a point in life where you don't need a lot to make you happy. Find things you truly enjoy that bring you joy and stimulation. Something like video games is a great option in my opinion. As video games get a bad rep, but that's all just propaganda. It's nothing really that bad about video games. If you have an addiction, then yeah, obviously any addiction is gonna cause some issues in your life at large. But you must find a collection of things in life you truly enjoy, just for the sake of doing them. That's not attached to an outcome. For example, I've been going back through my massive backlog of games that I've never been able to play, and I've been playing through them, and it's been extremely enjoyable, a lot of fun actually, and it's really ignited my love for gaming again. So I also enjoy doing things like solo trips. I love going to a different city and trying the food, seeing the vibe of the different cities, the cultures. I love working out just for the sake of working out, not for, oh, I'm trying to get laid or trying to get muscles. As long as you do things attached to outcomes, you'll forever be miserable. And so this is why in life you must find things that you enjoy doing regardless of the goal or outcome. You must find things you enjoy that are detached from a specific outcome. But in life, many people go crazy and always need to be striving for. And I do agree that, again, we do need hobbies, we need stimulation, we need things to do on a day-to-day basis that we enjoy. But I believe that this idea of striving at large is a symptom of the neurotic culture we live in, the culture of constantly hustling and staying busy and doing a bunch of just random shit for no other reason other than the fact to just say you're busy. Most men cannot sit with themselves in a room. That's an old quote. The problem with a lot of people is they can't sit alone in a room. I actually think solitude is the antidote to a lot of problems, and I have to make another video about solitude and my philosophy on that. But otherwise, it's like, you're doing all that striving for what exactly? I came to realize this with my career, as in my career, after a certain point of making a certain amount of money, I would say anywhere between 130K to 170K. What's the point of continuing to strive for higher, for money, for power? So some people get an ego boost of feeling power, that they are a manager or something like that. But for me, that just invites more problems. Why would you invite more problems to your life? And for what exactly? For an ego boost, to feel like you're powerful because you're a manager or a team lead, you know? And for what, an extra 20K? Unless it's something that will truly make a difference in your life and take you to the next level. Like, for example, making 100K versus making 40K. Okay, that's a life-changing difference, right? But making 150K versus making 200K, it's not really that much of a difference in terms of life. Yeah, you might be able to save a little bit of extra money, but it's not worth the extra effort. All that striving for what exactly? Most things, you reach a point of diminishing returns where it's time to kind of cut your losses. But even something like getting a STEM degree, getting STEM degrees now is starting to be iffy. It's starting to become increasingly oversaturated in the field. And I'm in the field as a senior engineer, and I see and do the hiring processes, and I see thousands of applicants. A lot of oversaturation when it comes to STEM degrees. And we've reached a point in technology where new technology is not being invented fast enough to keep up with all the guys ready to beta bucks by getting a STEM degree, and a FANG salary. But those days are coming to an end. Technology is now reaching a maturity phase where the only people who are very valuable are those who are at senior level, or people who are actually very good engineers. There's always going to be a demand for good people, for good developers, good coders, good programmers. But most people suck. I interview a lot of people. Most people suck. But STEM used to be a place where, let's just say, undesirable people could go for refugee. You may not be that attractive or wanted, but maybe you're not that popular or have status, but if you knew how to program or write code and had a STEM degree, that gave you a ton of value, and that gave you an opportunity to live a really good life. But now that's starting to be taken away now. Many entrepreneurship opportunities are getting harder and harder to come by. You know, oh, making money online. That is damn near depends fully on luck now. You know, all areas of life are becoming a red ocean. And this is ironically one of the side effects of late stage capitalism, actually. And this is all predictable, actually. You know, a lot of this stuff is predictable. You know, but we're seeing this with the manosphere. You know, it's become a red ocean of guys who are scrambling as their views and numbers decline month after month, trying to find the new solution, the new way to grift and scam. And this is one of the problems with Gen Z, is seeing there's so much saturation across the board. You know, even in the dating market is extremely saturated with average gym bros with a decent job, average or slightly above average looks. Hundreds and hundreds of these guys. There's an extreme oversaturation. You know, most success in today's world is becoming more and more increasingly about luck more than anything else. You know, the days of just pull yourself up by the bootstraps are over. Those days are dead. The boomers telling you to pull yourself up by the bootstraps, that shit is dead. It's still doable for some, but it's heavily reliant on luck. We are beginning to reach the zero solution error, where all major copes are beginning to come to an end. And this is why I press the importance of finding happiness in simplicity, finding happiness without needing a lot of shit. But all good major copes are starting to come to an end, and soon there will be nothing left but the truth, you know, and we'll reach a state, maybe sort of the mouse utopia experience, maybe something close to that. I'm not sure. You know, maybe this is what many philosophers were getting at when they suggested that in the future, societies at large will begin to fall apart because there's nothing really to do. There's no striving. There's nothing really holding it together any longer, you know. So the key takeaways of this video is to stop trying so hard to find solutions for everything. Oftentimes you're better off embracing and accepting the truth of the situation than trying to repair a broken toaster, like Prop Joe told Old Face Andre. You know, you're better off accepting some harsh realities and making peace with it instead of trying to swim against the tide. I do believe it's worthwhile to make your life reasonably good. You should aim to get independent of your parents. You should aim for some independence in life where you're able to live a good, decent life. You're able to have money and all those good things and enjoy life. Um, but one of the key takeaways is that many of the widely accepted solutions are no longer holding the same value they once did. We are truly, like I said, reaching an era of zero solutions, you know. But you know, free yourself from always looking for and thinking there is a solution for everything in life. Some things, like I said, are better off accepted fully and living in peace rather than continue to try to fix a broken toaster. You know, people spend tons and tons of wasted time and money trying to repair a cheap broken toaster. You know, might as well just dump it, like Prop Joe said. You know, and this is similar to what self improvement gurus and dating coaches do. They sell broken solutions to desperate, gullible people, just like Prop Joe did to Old Face Andre. You know, and took his money and then gave him up at the end of the day. You know, and Prop Joe is trying to teach Andre that real solutions in life lie in deeper understanding, adaptation and full acceptance of the truth, not in quick fixes or broken solutions. Hard work and perseverance are important, but luck and timing in today's world play a crucial role in success. You know, many people who work hard still fail to achieve their goals due to circumstances beyond their control. And, you know, most importantly, perhaps from a lack of having enough luck on their side. You know, many fields are becoming oversaturated, from job markets to social spaces. You know, the abundance of information, the advice can be overwhelming, often leading to analysis by paralysis. You know, not every problem has a clear or easy solution. And sometimes it's just best to adapt and evolve rather than trying to follow prescribed paths. Trying to fight against reality, we always lose. But anyway, that is it for today's video. I'll see you in the next one.